All right. We are headed to SK Coffee for the Twin Cities Coffee Club meetup. It's a pretty awesome little event that happens here in St. Paul, Minnesota. Basically, a handful of coffee enthusiasts get together, brews their beans, just kind of connect over nerdy coffee stuff. I went to my first one a few months ago. Been to like a handful of them now, and it's really awesome. There's a guy, Nate, who runs the Instagram and puts on the events. Very nice guy, has very good taste in coffee, and honestly, he turned me on to some interesting concepts and varieties that I have never tried before. And yeah, just basically someone really cool to connect with and a great host, kind of a head on the whole scene here in the Twin Cities. Today, I'm not bringing my brew setup. I'm going to just do some filming, hopefully some interviews with folks if they're open to it, and just kind of expose what's going on and share with the world what we do here in the Twin Cities.
So what was your inspiration for starting the coffee club?
I am a freak, and none of my friends were as freaky as me when it came to coffee. But I knew there had to be more people like me around here, and I needed a way to meet them. So that was kind of the impetus. And yeah, it was a hunch.
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
Check that out. It was the hunch that there's probably other people that were into coffee as much as me, and maybe even similar coffees or different coffees that I haven't really found. So I just wanted a place for us to come and connect. And the guys here at SK had done, I forget what they called it. Zach, what was the name of that thing you guys did with all the roasters? Roaster Showcase.
Oh,
Nice.
In October, you said?
Sweet.
So they had done this roaster showcase, and I came and stopped into that, and that kind of gave me the idea of okay, these guys are into community. And so I reached out to them and said, do you think we could host something like this there?
That's awesome. I am pretty grateful for the fact that you managed to make this happen and that this is a thing. From what I understand, it's not even a regular thing in most other states or cities to have this opportunity. And like you said, they're freaks that are just into coffee, good flavors, and sharing it. It's really amazing. What was the first meetup like?
I wanted to do it here because I saw that event happen here. When I reached out, I think I was talking with Carter and Sam. But anyways, their intuition was let's host it at our Whittier, their smaller location.
Oh, okay.
And I was that coffee shop I've been going to since I was 15 because it's been a few different coffee shops.
Is that the one off Lyndale?
24th and Lyndale. It's very narrow and small.
Muddy Waters?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. And I was all right, I'm not gonna, it's your space. If that's the one you want to provide me. But the first one was about 8, probably not more than 10 people showed up. Maybe it was less than that. Initially I met, Michael was there. And Michael and I, that day, we both brought H&S coffees.
Awesome.
And he was like, dude, the sub's about to open up. So anyways, we've been sharing a subscription to H&S since then. But it was really cool. A guy brought his journal. He was just in town visiting from, I think, Milwaukee. But
Okay.
he found out about it through Instagram. And so he brought the journal, and then Michael brought his Nest coffees, plus he primarily was brewing through a pulse off.
And what year was this? 2019?
This is 2025.
Oh.
No, this was just a few months ago.
Oh, holy
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So this is still pretty fresh.
Yeah. Yeah, this is 6 months that we've been doing.
Wow. So I came here, I think this is maybe my 3rd or 4th one. So I caught you just 2 months after that.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yep.
About. Okay. Wow. That's a trip. Okay. So we're still pretty early in it. Yeah, it's a fruiting, budding event.
Yep.
Okay. That's a trip to think about. I feel like it's to me, it felt like it had been something that's been going on for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I want to know about your personal journey into specialty coffee. I think, speaking for myself, coffee had been something that my parents drank. My mom drank. She drank Folgers, and she'd brew it every morning. I didn't care for it. Started tasting it and kind of getting to know it. What's this functional thing. You drink it to wake up. And then there's a point, I think, in every coffee person's journey where it changes, right? So I wonder what that was for you, going from, say, your journey from commercial commodity grade coffee to specialty coffee. What was your habit before, and then when did you discover specialty coffee?
Sure. There's two things that I think about. They were kind of turning points. So yeah, early on, I drank coffee, cream and sugar. That's it. And then I remember drinking more cold brew, kind of getting into that. And Spy House, I remember their cold brew specifically, they rotated it as to what beans were actually going into being their cold brew. And there was one time that it was floral, it was fruity, it was loud. I was living next to Spy House at the time, so that was kind of the first more specialty.
Uptown Spy House?
Uptown, they just opened pretty recently up there. So that was the first time that I remember being really attracted to the inherent flavors in coffee. It wasn't just like coffee as like the caffeinated thing, or coffee to like mix other like sugar things into to kind of make something out of, but it was the inherent flavors in the coffee. And here's the really cool thing. Sam, right there, brewed me the first, it was an Onyx. Sam was working as a barista at Wesley Andrews at the time. And I was kind of into the mindset of like local roasters. That's why I liked Wesley Andrews. That's why I liked Spy House. But it was more of, I guess, that ethic that was in my mind rather than what is really in the coffee and like discerning different flavors in the coffee. And Sam brewed, it was a natural Ethiopia from Onyx. I think it was Hembella. And that was like this fruit explosion that I was like, oh, here's more of that thing that I remember tasting in this Spy House kind of cold brew thing. And that was when I started purchasing coffee online.
You're like, wait, there's something more to this coffee thing, and I need to seek it out because it's not quite accessible otherwise. You're like, I don't know, I'm kind of at the whims of whatever the coffee shops are serving. And what are they offering? The more you get into coffee and the way it's brewed, the more you understand, like, no, there is some sort of process and there's method behind it, right? And it's like, how do you bring out these flavors? And if you go to a coffee shop or a gas station, it's just press a button. It just does its auto thing, and it's generally lesser than what it could be, I guess.
Totally.
So one thing that I could speak towards for myself coming to Coffee Club for the first time, it is a little bold for me to, it's not bold, that's not it. It's just a little, it takes a little maybe bravery. I'm in my 30s, whatever. I have friends that I grew up with and people that I know from work and stuff. But to find this new niche of interest, it being coffee, and then, okay, I'm going to go to this coffee club. You know what I mean? It's could be maybe initially intimidating if you don't know. It's for some people, it's a little bit of a step in the unknown. How do you keep it welcoming? How do you keep it open, accessible, and like allow people to come in and feel welcome?
Sure. Honestly, I haven't made any specific efforts in that direction other than this is something that I advertise publicly. The vibe that I try to create here is like when I see new people coming in, make a point of saying hello and welcoming that. And even though a lot of us have somewhat similar interests on coffee, there is definitely some variation. I don't want people to feel like there's a wrong way or that not knowing much about coffee is going to somehow make them less of a person here or some shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's I have taste that is more focused. I have ways that I like to brew that I've built over like experience and finding those preferences. But I don't want to impose any of that. And like one of the biggest reasons that I did this was just to try to expand my repertoire, figure out what other people are doing. I know this is a hobby and an interest for me, and I'm kind of exploring things online and seeing different, whether it's technology and devices or new roasters and all that stuff, but I'm still kind of like in my own bubble and I want to expand and learn more from other people. But in terms of actually the event itself, I throw a post up and try to invite people in. And during the winter, I have more time, free time. So I plan on trying to expand more, maybe collaborate with different venues or different roasters locally or whatever, and kind of doing some more expansion in that direction. But yeah, I think it's really just about if people show up, then connecting and see.
I think you do a good job of that, actually. Yeah. I know when I first came, it was like, I was like, I don't know what to expect here. I didn't even bring my pour over setup. I brought my little Frankenstein espresso machine, and Zach came up right away. He's like, "What the hell is that thing? You did that?" And I was like, "Yeah." I felt pretty happy about that, and then recognize and acknowledge it was really nice. And from my experience being here, certainly there's all sorts of people that come through. Some people just passing by that are in town that want to check it out, or friends of friends that come and stuff. And the type of people I meet here have spanned all sorts of cool qualities. I've connected with some very technical people that are quantum physicists and like just like really cool people, hardworking people that are really into coffee. Yeah, so it's been really great. And also talented local roasters as well, people that are really engaged and do have immense knowledge of coffee. And like someone who is newer to specialty coffee, I've been able to gain a lot of insight and wisdom behind coffee, the way it's roasted or the way people approach brews and what they do with their water chemistry and grinders, all that jazz. All right. One more question.
Sure.
How do you define success with Twin Cities Coffee Club? Like what does success look like for you in this?
That the objective is people coming together and sharing their love of coffee. So on whatever level that's happening, then that looks like success to me. Beyond that, like expanding more I'd say over the past few months, there's been a lot of people that have showed up regularly, and then there's filtering a few new people, and sometimes like whatever. But I'd like there to be more than just like, I don't want it to be closed off. I want it to be continuing to like new people to show up and feel welcome. But at the root of it, as long as like it's people coming together and doing what we do.
Yeah.
But I feel like if we're, say, a year from now and it's just the same, however, handful of people showing up, I think that would feel kind of stale. If it was just us.
Yeah.
I want fresh new people coming in and checking out stuff.
I guess you could say you made some good friends along the way, and that, in a way, that's a good thing. But
Yeah.
I think what you're saying is to expand it and see more people come through. Coffee is an awesome thing, and there's a lot of great qualities of it to celebrate. There's great community in it. There's amazing stories behind these coffees, and the more you get to share it with people, the better. The more the merrier. I totally agree with you on that. I think the future is bright, and to me, coffee is still relatively newer to me, but I think that the trend seems to be going in a direction where it is expanding, it's growing, and people don't know it yet, I feel like, but I think we're going to see more and more growth, and it'll be fun to like reflect on this conversation in a year and to see what the hell is going to happen.